I want to talk about Ohio State wide receivers, Alabama wide receivers, LSU wide receivers. Generally speaking, I was writing down some notes just on a legal pad here, and it dawned on me that Ohio State could go on the best wide receiver run that we've ever seen in history. And I want to unpack that with you, sound you out, see how you feel about it, and give you some comparisons because I think this is really an interesting topic and one that we're going to talk about for some time to come, especially knowing how good Jeremiah Smith is and how good Brandon Ennis might be in 2026. All that's coming up after the bumper. Back on Adapt and Respond with me, RJ Young. If you are new to the channel, consider joining the more than 212,000 subscribers to Adapt and Respond, a college football podcast. You can also catch us on Spotify and Apple if you so choose. I want to talk about wide receiver depth. I want to talk about what wide receivers are doing in college football, have been doing in college football, and what the NFL has come to think of these runs that some of the schools have been on. So let's take it back to like college football playoff really coming online because we've seen great wide receivers for as long as we've been throwing the ball, right? Since the forward pass, we could take it all the way back to some guys that have been really great. But specifically in modern football, we've seen a couple of teams have a couple of recruiting years that are just dynamic and awesome. Think about Clemson and how it was able to give us guys like Sammy Watkins Jr. We keep going on this, and they give us guys like DeAndre Hopkins, Amari Rogers, T. Higgins, Cornell Powell kind of fits in there for me. Deion Kane, what he's been able to do in the UFL fits in there for me. Justin Ross when he was a monster, but none of these guys were like a steady run of first round picks, right? Take it to say Alabama. Everybody remembers or knows they have this image in their head of these four wide receivers that were standing across, one line together horizontally. And you saw like Judy, you saw Smith, you saw Ruggs, you saw Waddle, right? Like, Henry Ruggs, tragic what's happened to him. That man was denied parole again, but one of the better wide receivers that we've seen over the last decade. Jerry Jeudy speaks for himself, right? Jalen Waddle, I believe, would have won the Biletnikoff Award and the Heisman Trophy had he not got hurt in 2020, but he did, and Devontae Smith was a monster. 1,800 yards receiving, like 20 TDs. Won a Heisman Trophy and the Biletnikoff Award running away on what I think is the best college football team of all time, that Alabama 2020 team. They just did not have any weaknesses. And like most great college football teams, the dude playing quarterback felt like it could be anybody. It happened to be Mac Jones, and nobody's going to tell you that Mac Jones was anywhere close to the best player on that team, but you would say the same thing about 01 Miami with Ken Dorsey, or 05 USC with Matt Leinart, though Matt Leinart won the Heisman Trophy 2004. Keep going, right? Generally, AJ McCarron, Greg McElroy, and that 09 Alabama team. But as I was looking at it, that's about it, right? Like you talk about Jameson Williams, who was outstanding, a great player, but there was a bit of a jump, and he transferred in from Ohio State, and it was really just him. This year, it might be Ryan Williams that comes out and is that guy. It's not as if they haven't had good receivers. Jeremy Bernard. It's that the run that they have been on hasn't been sustained over like a decade. And nobody has really. That's kind of the point to all of this. Another team I think about is LSU, right? Specifically 2019 LSU, which felt like it had three guys that could have been first round draft picks at wide receiver. And you know them all by name, right? We could go on at the mouth about just what Justin Jefferson turned out to be, specifically announcing himself over Oklahoma's dead body. But Jamar Chase was box office. That was the dude. before Devontae Smith, Jamar Chase probably goes down in history as the best dude. No, actually, after Devontae Smith, maybe the best guy never to win the Heisman Trophy at wide receiver, Jamar Chase, that season that he had. Nasty. Terrence Marshall felt like he was going to be that guy for them. And of course, when you got Joe Burrow throwing passes around, you're pretty damn good. The only knock on that 2019 LSU team, and the reason I don't make it the best team, is the defense was so-so. It was not great. It was so-so. Just like Auburn's defense in 2010. Won a national championship, defense was so-so. It was not great. It wasn't 2018 Clemson, which had 3 first-round draft picks on the starting defensive line, which is nasty. My God. Just going through that list of guys. Actually, it might be 4. Now I can't remember where Austin was drafted, but I want to say he was a second-round draft pick. Austin Bryant was a second-round draft pick, and I want to say Cleveland Farrell, Dexter Lawrence, Christian Wilkins were all guys that went in the first round. But anyway, I digress. But it kind of comes back to this point that I'm making about these units or these crops of years of players where we've seen really great dudes come out of. But what Ohio State has done since 2022 demands that we take a look at all of this, man. And the reason I say that is no matter what Brandon Ennis does in 2023, or excuse me, 2026, because he's a 2023 recruit, you can probably pencil in Ohio State going on the greatest wide receiver run from player development to first-round draft pick in history. Because you start with Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson getting drafted in first round 2022. First time that Ohio State had a first-round pick at wide receiver since 2007, 15 years. Not even Michael Thomas was able to do that, right? Michael Thomas, who is a Pro Football Hall of Famer for me. But it was a second-round pick coming out of college. Then look at Jackson Smith-Njigba and what he was able to do in college. And, oh, by the way, there's a Super Bowl ring on his finger now. Marvin Harrison Jr. was the number 3 overall pick, Biletnikoff Award winner. It was basically the offense going into his last year at Ohio State. And then Carnell Tate emerges next to Jeremiah Smith. Emeka Egbuka emerges next to Jeremiah Smith. And we all know Jeremiah Smith is going to be the first wide receiver taken off the board, no doubt, come 2027. For me, it's whether or not you take him number 1, right? Because that is the best player in all of college football for me. But then look at what's coming after Jeremiah Smith and Brandon Ennis, who will also be, if he does what Carnell Tate did last year, our first-round pick, but he will be gone next year. So then you got Mylan Graham, who transfers to Notre Dame. Okay, fine. You come in with Jeremiah Smith, that's tough. Quincy Porter, who also transferred to Notre Dame. Again, come in with Jeremiah Smith, that's tough, but look behind you. 2026, 6'5", Chris Henry. Chris Henry, who feels like he is the heir apparent at Ohio State to Jeremiah Smith. It's one thing to get a dude that's a monster. It's another thing to start stacking monsters after him. Like, this is the prototype for which we go recruit everything else. Anytime I see a creative player, Jeremiah Smith, Chris Henry Jr., I go, okay, that's pretty damn good. But when you got more than one, like Chris Henry might be wide receiver 3 this season, but that's depending on how you feel about Brock Boyd, right? Or Devin McEwen or Kyle Parker, right? All guys that I think will get run. Phillip Bell, another dude who's true freshman this year, going to get run. Could be a first-round draft pick. Jameer Brown, 2027. Jett Harrison, younger brother of Marvin Harrison Jr., and obviously the son of Marvin Harrison Sr. And then 2029, Austin Miller is 6'5" and is just short of 1,000-yard receiver already. That dude took up his offer and committed on the spot. Like, 2029 is so far away that we're not really giving rankings out for it, but rest assured, he's a top 100 player. Probably a 5-star, but we'll wait and see on that. But I wanted to do this because just to see the list from 2022 all the way through 2029 in recruiting means that, I mean, we could be talking about Ohio State having a sustained run of 10 years with a first-round pick at wide receiver. That's not a thing. That's That's not how the draft works. It's not how football works. It's not how recruiting works, especially in an age where guys are more transient than they've ever been before. But when you're able to recruit, like Brian Hartline was able to recruit, and apparently like Cortez Hankton is able to recruit, sky is the limit for what you can do. The only thing that I think is sad about all of this is, damn, they still got to run the football. All right. If you like the podcast, you like the show, subscribe and rate the podcast on Apple and Spotify, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Doses.